Welcome to another presentation at the East Trade Winds. Our guest is Jeff Borschowa, podcaster and founder of Global Wellness HQ.
For everybody here, welcome. I want to share a couple of really quick things about AI. And yes, I know everybody's jumped on the AI bandwagon. I literally, when I discovered ChatGPT, it was the missing piece to my brain. And what I mean by that is I spoke it natively. People complain that AI has hallucinations. And the reality is, so do we. We literally all have these hallucinations. And what I realized was that with ADHD and autism, sometimes we glitch and other people visit. So what I found was that I spoke ChatGPT natively, and I actually have two very weird rules in life. But the way people talk to me about their children and AI tells me everything I need to know about them. So for the record, I am a loving father. If people don't like their kids, odds are good that they created those kids. So therefore, there's something inherently different about them that I don't want to get to know. And then the other thing is when people tell me that AI is stupid, I'm sorry, but you've revealed your hand to me as well. So for what it's worth, I talk about augmented intelligence, not artificial per se. And I've actually created translator apps between me and other people because sometimes it takes a lot of effort for us to figure out regular folks, your lack of logic. So for everybody who is using AI, welcome to the party. But again, as I said, I focus on something I call augmented intelligence. And by the way, if you want to talk about prompts, I can talk about prompts, but I'm a little like Dr. Dietz. You talk to me about prompts too long, my head will explode because I'm sick of prompts only. So I'm going to give you two little secrets for success with AI, and they're both very suspiciously simple. Secret number one is you have to be curious. If you're not curious, AI is just another tool and you're not going to learn it. You're not going to get the best out of it. The second thing, and this part, most AI that we know of, most commercial AI falls into the large language model space. So I want to spoil it, communication. And I think that's where most people who struggle with AI, they approach it like it's a vending machine. They want to drop a quarter in and get something out. The reality is it's a conversational tool. And if you're not using it to sharpen yourself, you're missing some of the big advantages of what the tool could do. And yes, I know sometimes AI can be, especially ChatGPT, can be a little bit of a sycophant and it wants to tell you you're wonderful and, it's always going to hang your artwork on its digital fridge. But the reality is if you teach it not to be like that, it can actually be a really good sparring partner. So that's my little rant. And basically, once I figured out that it was all about me and my communication skills, the next obvious thing was I had some biases and I was like, oh, AI must be stupid when it was first coming out because I was seeing all these terrible posts. But the reality is it amplifies the person at the keyboard. So if you're talking about a topic that you know and love, and you use AI to create content about said topic, it's going to amplify that brilliance and it's going to resonate. Whereas when it first came out, a lot of people who didn't know the first thing about the topic were suddenly posting. And unfortunately, that mass, I'm going to say mass stupidity, because it was a real terrifying period to be alive when you looked at it and went, wow, we're going to get dumber. I'd like to say that's past, but I think I've just stopped listening to some of that stuff. But when you hang out with people who truly get what they do, and I don't care what field they're in, somehow enhance your business, once you get it in the hands of the grown-ups, as I say, and away from the TikTokers and YouTubers, you can produce some magic. So just because everybody says, oh, you can't write books with AI, I've dozens of books with AI. People say, oh, AI doesn't do good code. I beg to differ. And I'm a huge, huge fan of using AI for workflow and automation. And it doesn't have to be complex. You don't need to get into coding. And I think that's the mistake. A lot of people went, well, it relates to computers. I need to be good at coding. If I can't code, I can't use it. And then my favorite use of AI is just as a brainstorming tool. And if you haven't done this, I'm a whiteboard guy. I'm a purist. I love my whiteboard. Um, and then I'll take a picture of it, upload it, and ask AI to help me either, first of all, sort it, because sometimes it's like, what was I thinking over there? So AI will see patterns that we couldn't possibly see. And then I'll ask it, okay, now of these things, here's my priorities. Which of these things will help me get there faster? And then okay, help me create an implementation plan. And then once I've implemented, let's create systems and processes to make sure we keep doing it. So there's so much that can be done with large language models. But what I realized, and this was kind of the next evolution for me, and if you're getting there, that's great. Once I realized that most of what I do is really just with processes involved, AI can be trained on my processes and it'll follow it better than I ever will. So it's a wonderful tool for that. But truly for me, it's all about how do I connect with more humans? How do I have a better connection? So I started creating custom GPTs. And if you're not doing that yet, that's the next generation. Honestly, I'm starting to get past that because there are limitations. But for what I'm working on right now, I built my own large language model on a laptop just to see if I could do it. And I have about 400 custom GPTs. They're all a specialist in one thing that I do. I'm about to convert all of those through my own large language model so that I can get rid of all of the filters, AI tools. I see at least 10 announcements a day. Most of them are just fancy wrappers put on top of OpenAI's large language model. Once I realized that, I was like, wow, I can build my own fancy wrapper. And the magic of that, now that gets advanced. I'm not going to recommend everybody do it because I prefer the command line to the user interface most of the time. But the reality is, if you do certain things over and over and you've got proprietary information, it's not that hard to create your own custom LLM using access to the APIs and the tools within OpenAI's company. But that's been my magic, is exploring what's possible. And I think so many people are, is this an M dash? Oh, therefore you're using AI to create content. Who cares? We're missing the point. It's not about, did I use AI to create the content? The point is the content good? If the content is good, then who cares if I wrote it on a typewriter, if I created it using whatever, maybe I coded it, Lego, whatever it is. If the message is good, the medium doesn't matter as much, or the tool to produce it. And I dare say if William Shakespeare was alive today, he would use AI gleefully. And if you haven't done it yet, I like having conversations with historical figures, asking them how they would use AI today. And by the way, Jesus has some very fun things he would do with AI. And, I love talking to Einstein, is one of my other favorites. If you haven't played role playing with AI, you're missing out half the fun.
A special thank you to Simon Cormier for sharing the soundtrack for this session. Unlock the full potential of networking with East Trade Winds. Are you eager to connect with our esteemed guest speaker and delve deeper into the ever-expanding universe of connections? Simply scan the QR code now and embark on a journey of endless opportunities. Join us at East Trade Winds, where we gather online via Zoom every Tuesday from 8 to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, you're welcome to connect with us. Seize the moment, register for free, and start exploring today. Fancy sharing your insights as a guest speaker? We're looking for you. Reach out to Wayne Pratt to ignite your speaking journey. Email him at wayne@motivateyou.ca or connect with Wayne on LinkedIn. Don't wait. Take action and be a part of a global community that's shaping the future of business networking.